Hi, my name is Delia and I'm a junior in the Department of Kinesiology at Cal State East Bay.
And my name is Sarah Millar. I'm a recent graduate of the East Bay Speech Language Pathology Master's Program. We are excited to tell you about our collaborative project titled Let's Get Virtual Online Interprofessional Aphasia Group Fitness for COVID-19. But first, what is aphasia? Aphasia is an acquired communication disorder, most often caused by stroke. It can affect the ability to speak, understand speech, read, write, or any combination of these, and to varying degrees. Now, despite relatively few people knowing the word aphasia, it's actually more common than ALS or MS, with 2.5 million people affected in the United States. Now, people with aphasia can regain some of their skills with speech therapy, but research has also shown that group therapy is effective for both language and quality of life. Those findings led to the creation of the Cal State East Bay Aphasia Treatment Program, or ATP, in 1996. Since then, speech pathology students have helped people with aphasia better participate in their lives. And there are so many ways to get involved, including news group, book club, our choir, and a new favorite, exercise group. After completing training from speech pathology graduate students on how to best communicate with people with aphasia, kinesiology faculty and students lead twice-weekly exercise groups. The classes are popular, not surprising as there are so many benefits to physical activity, including increased fitness, decreased sedentary behavior, cognitive and motor recovery, and overall improved mood and quality of life. People with aphasia especially could benefit because of the increased prevalence of sedentary behavior and decreased quality of life. And when the pandemic began, we decided to give Zoom a try. But right now, there's limited research on the effects of physical activity on people with aphasia. So as the fall 2020 semester rolled around, the exercise group saw an opportunity to ask some new questions. Namely, is an online exercise group for people with aphasia viable? Will they show up? And is it effective? Does it increase overall physical activity, quality of life, and are there any cognitive or linguistic benefits? 11 ATP members signed up to participate, 9 in the intervention group who enrolled in the exercise program, and 2 in the control who participated in at least one other ATP group. All participants completed pre- and post-treatment testing for linguistic, cognitive, quality of life, and physical activity measures.
To collect a variety of physical activity outcomes, all participants received an active PAL activity monitor to wear for 3 one-week, 24-hour-a-day periods. This active PAL, sensitive to minor movements, posture changes, and acceleration, even in clinical populations such as stroke survivors, tracked total number of steps per day, as well as total sitting time per day. Additionally, intervention group participants received a Fitbit Charge 2 for heart rate monitoring during the exercise group classes, as well as exercise equipment such as resistance bands and squeeze balls. Aphasia-friendly instruction videos, which you can see playing on the right side of the screen, were also provided to participants. The sessions began with an individual greeting to each member, followed by the recording of resting heart rates for each participant in attendance. Then, participants followed along with a pre-recorded video of stretches and exercises, supplemented with live commentary and specific feedback from session leaders. Class culminated with an upbeat dance routine, and activity monitor troubleshooting was conducted as needed. Looking at the preliminary results, heart rate and adherence indicated engagement and enthusiasm for the program. Average attendance was 80% across the 20 sessions. Research has shown that in older adults, physical activity adherence is 67.5% on average. So 80% adherence is a really exciting finding, especially for a virtual intervention. Additionally, participant heart rates consistently increased over the course of each session by an average of 11 beats per minute. And our data suggests that our participants were working even harder towards the end of the semester, with an average change in heart rate of 14 beats per minute. Looking at our physical activity outcome measures, total number of daily steps in the intervention group stayed relatively constant, while stepping in the control group declined slightly. On the other hand, when we looked at total sitting time, both groups spent slightly less time sitting per day at the end of the semester.
Looking at our cognitive linguistic measures, there was no change in linguistic skills. Now, there was a slight increase in cognitive skills for both groups, but a two-tailed paired t-test found none of those changes to be statistically significant. Quality of life measures improved, but changes were statistically non-significant overall. So improvements noted as decreases on these graphs were present for both the intervention and control groups. However, there was one particularly interesting finding unique to the intervention group for the subscore of positive mood, for which there was a statistically significant positive change with a p-value of 0.03.
Looking at our findings overall, we discovered that an online exercise group for individuals with aphasia is feasible. Our members attended at an exceptionally high rate, and the fact that heart rate increases were observed across the semester means that our participants were engaged with the program. And while we can't make any generalizations, our findings suggest that an exercise group may have a positive effect on physical activity, cognition, and quality of life, especially positive emotions, when compared to controls. Additionally, when we asked our participants and their families about the program, they had positive things to say. In fact, one participant's mother told us that her daughter got more of a workout from our exercise group than she did at physical therapy. Finally, the online format of the class meant that we were able to welcome a much greater number of participants than when we were still on campus with substantial space constraints. Of course, there were also limitations. Our sample size was small. We could only observe a limited effect on language during the semester. And in some cases, activity monitors were not worn correctly by participants, resulting in missing or insufficient data that were excluded from the analysis and could have impacted results.
But our study is still in the early stages. We are recruiting more participants, which will allow for more informative analyses. In fact, we've got 8 returning participants, so we will even have maintenance and longitudinal data. We're also streamlining the data collection process by auto-syncing our heart rate values. Further, the inclusion of a non-ATP group, so people with aphasia who are not enrolled in the East Bay Aphasia Treatment Program, would enable greater control for the effect of group participation. So at present, research shows that group therapy has a positive effect on well-being for people with aphasia, but whether that effect is statistically significant has yet to be established. And no matter what, we're looking forward to more fun, more friends, and most importantly, more burn. Thanks are due to this amazing interdisciplinary Cal State East Bay team. Thanks for listening.